I get these ads on Facebook all the time that there's a black BRZ with a wide body kit. Your standard, like, if you're like for fucking stance cars, like that's what's gonna draw you in. And then it says, "Do you want to get sponsored?" in massive, like, dude, it's like impact bold font, right? Yeah. And I have clicked on this link because I'm like, what is this? Dude, it's a fucking pyramid scheme. And I'm like, what? Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Substance Podcast. I'm your host, Liam, and my co-host, Matt, is, again, not here today. I have, instead, our second guest. This is Charley who has hose.
My name's Charley Hoehaver. I understand you kind of got a bit of an international audience, so I'm going to introduce myself a couple different ways here. Watashi wa Charley Hoehaver, and then Привет, товарищ, меня зовут Charley Hoehaver. And for the Australian people, I really hope you're wearing your gravity harness currently, or else you're falling off the planet. But g'day, cunts, my name's Charles Hoehaver. So yeah, that's my introduction right there. I think I went pretty good.
Yeah, was the first one that wasn't English was Japanese, and then did you do Russian?
Da.
Is that yes in Russian?
Yes. Товарищ, да, товарищ. It's yes, bro.
Fucking beats me. I didn't know shit about this, but yes, we do actually have an international audience. There's quite a few listeners from all over Europe. Australia, there's a lot of listeners in Australia. And then obviously in the UK where I'm from. So there's a good mix of people from all over the fucking place, and I feel like some people probably get confused because they're like, a lot of people in America are very confused as to where the fuck I'm from. I'm from England, if I need to specify that.
Yes.
And Charley's from here. He's from the United States.
Yes. But, Alabama. And no, I don't have a goddamn redneck accent, okay? You can fuck off with that.
But Charley actually lives in Vegas. Yes. I was just recently out there for SEMA, and so me and you hung out and did a bunch of shenanigans and walked around the show, and we actually, the vlog's not out yet. It will be coming out relatively soon. But we talked a lot of shit on just...
A lot of shit talk. Like I said in the video, you could direct your hate mail to my YouTube. I have 4 subscribers. I'm a bit of a niche internet celebrity. It's Mjolnir Mixmaster. It's a Halo reference and a Autobots Transformers reference. So, again, niche, real big niches. Yeah, just send me all the death threats. That'd be cool. I can take it.
But, okay, so this was not a podcast that I was intending to record today. I was actually intending to record tomorrow, and I was going to do an episode on my background, which we tried to record already. So Charley happens to be in town for Christmas visiting family, or near enough in town.
Yeah, 3.5 hours. It's, in a car that hasn't been driven in 10 months, piece of shit CRX that burns oil, but it's no big deal.
Right.
I still have to drive home tomorrow, but... We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, but he called me earlier and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna stop by," and I was like, "I'm editing all day." He's like, "Well, you doing anything tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I gotta work all day." He's like, "All right, well, I'm just gonna come by tonight." And I was like, "Okay." And then he called me again hours later. He's like, "All right, I'm on the way. It's 3.5 hours." I was like, "All right." And he's like, "Can I be on the podcast?" And for everybody who is my friend or not even my friends that has been in my messages, can I be on the podcast? No.
Yeah, no.
Charley just gave me no fucking choice. Yeah, he just called me and was like, "Hey, we're gonna record a podcast episode."
FBI open up. That's kind of how I am. I just kick in the door, I show up, and then people have to deal with my presence for however long I might be there. So,
no, but I am actually down to do this episode with you because you're another one of those people that, just like Matt, me and you have some good conversations.
Absolutely.
And so I feel like you have value to add to this, and if not, then
the value.
I'm sure people will tell you. they'll direct their mail to your YouTube channel.
My YouTube channel or my Instagram, which is Centru, which is CENTRU. You can follow me, I guess. I don't really care though.
Which actually, we did mention you in the last podcast. Which you haven't listened, have you?
No, I don't listen to that many podcasts.
This fucking guy.
Listen, I'm glad my friends are doing cool things and succeeding and having an audience that listens to them. I'm just not going to be one of those guys because I have a short attention span, and I do listen to a podcast.
You had a 3.5 hour drive. You could have listened to like
I couldn't tell you
one of the episodes.
I couldn't tell you what happened on that drive. I kind of just boom, and like fucking faded away. Like the Interstellar, he's going through the black hole. That was kind of me for 3.5 hours.
I'm not gonna lie, I do that, and I think that's part of why I enjoy long drives is because I just zone out, and it didn't happen. 10 hours later, I arrive at my destination. I'm like, cool. I'm here.
You kind of forget you exist and everything you just saw, and it's just like, damn, that's crazy. Anyways, on to the next day. Let's do it, fellas.
Right. Well, I swear it's different though. Like it's easier than flying because when I'm flying, I'm fucking. You got to spend all that time walking around the airport looking for stuff, things that you're not familiar with. You got to find your fucking gate, going through TSA, getting searched. And then you get on the plane.
You gotta hope they don't find the box cutter or the revolver, the special cell phone, a lot of crazy
I have
stuff.
a secret stash pocket in my fucking camera bag that I stash all my heroin in, and I am Gucci. And I fly on Wednesday, which this podcast comes out after this, and so they're not even gonna catch me from this anyway. But no, long drives. I'd rather drive anywhere over flying.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
absolutely.
I'm flying to New York on Wednesday.
No, it's real proper kind of New York thing to do, isn't it? Fly in and be like, I went to JFK.
I'm flying to LaGuardia.
Oh,
I'm not even going to New York. I'm going to see family in Connecticut. My sister lives up there. And
that's an unfortunate place to be. Sorry, any
Connecticut?
big Connecticut heads out there.
Hey, man, it's pretty nice up there. It's pretty. It's cold.
I guess you could say that.
But no, I'm going to do family things, which means I'm probably going to be editing a lot of stuff during my family stay.
Look who came out of their cave, and you're covered in wires, and your eyes are burned out from looking at JPEGs all day.
Yeah, and then like Christmas Day rolls around, and my family is just like, well, just another year he hasn't bought anybody Christmas presents.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm cheap. I don't do that either.
Sorry,
Mom.
Yes, I am poor, but thankfully my family understands that all of the money I make gets spent on making more money.
Absolutely.
And so they're never upset that I don't really do gifts. And I would love to get to a point where I can afford to buy everybody in my family nice gifts, but I'm just thankful that they don't fucking hate me.
Yeah. I mean,
they enjoy my presence, or at least I hope. Maybe they're talking shit behind my back. I have no idea. Okay, so let's talk about you, because right now all the people that are listening or watching have gotten is that you can do some funny accents and know a few words in different languages.
Right. Yes.
This is Charley.
Terrible person. Absolutely terrible. But
not a great start, huh?
That's yeah.
No, but I would. Okay, like if I'm gonna like describe you to somebody, I would say that I would introduce you as a photographer.
Right.
Because that's how I know you. That's how I came across you. Where did we meet? I don't actually remember the first time that we met.
I think it had to have been at a Riverside show.
I guarantee it was.
Because I mean, but it's weird. I remember talking to you. Maybe it was just over social media. I feel like that's how I like make a lot of friends that are into like car media adjacent related
More
things.
than likely, yeah.
And it was just like, oh hey, like we messaged, shot the shit over a DM, and then it's just like, oh, you're gonna be at the show. I guess I'll properly introduce myself. And more
than likely, yeah. Riverside seems fitting because that's like one of the few shows that I feel like you would go to that I would also be at.
Yeah, and then we went to. I remember particularly the first time we like really hung out was the Nikki Jacobs, I think is her name, the girl with the pink S13.
Yeah, right after Riverside when I shot her car in that train yard.
Yeah.
That was a good shoot.
Yeah,
I will
still
say,
have not posted those photos anywhere.
I will say that shoot was kind of a pain because me and her went over there to go shoot, and then like midway through the shoot, or like right as we were almost done, this fucking like gang of red cars shows up.
I remember that.
They just show up. And with like a guy to film, and we were just getting ready to leave, and they're like, "Hey, car's really sick. Do you want to be in this video shoot?" And Nikki, of course, she's like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine. Do your thing." And we just hung out and shot the shit for however long, and Yeah, we were stuck there for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because these people showed up and were like, hey, can we shoot the car?
I got shit to fucking do, pal. Come on.
Yeah. No, legit. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to complain about it. Me and Nikki had a really, really good conversation that day anyway. Right. So it's all good, but holy shit. Like, it's one thing to show up and sabotage someone's shoot, but it is a whole nother thing to keep them there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not hating, honestly. The video that came out of that was actually really cool. The guy did some weird, like, it was almost like video game character intros for each of the car owners. It was kind of sweet, I won't lie.
Badass.
But yeah, that is like the first time that we, I guess, properly hung out was then.
Yeah. And I mean, I think there's several ways I could go with that conversation, where it's just like, about shoot spots and locations and whatnot. But I still haven't introduced myself properly, I guess. I've been too busy doing jokes. So I guess before that, a bit of background about me, this interesting character. See, I can't help myself. I keep trying to work in a bit. But anyways,
you're making yourself sound so like elusive and special.
Yeah, I'm a mysterious fellow. But anyways, so I've been doing automotive photography since 2013. But I really wouldn't call myself a photographer just because I hate that title. Like,
sorry.
No, it's fine. It's nothing against you. It's just I feel like that word's loaded. And it's
that's a restrictive title?
Not even a restrictive title. It just comes with like baggage. It comes with like, oh, you're a photographer, and it's just like, I mean, I'm not an artist. I draw. I've tried to make music. I take photos. But I take photos of cars. It's like, it's weird. Like, yeah, I guess it's art. But I'm like, I'm not painting the Sistine Chapel. I'm not, I'm not taking masterclass portraits of people, but because it's weird. Car photography exists in this space of like commercialized and like hobby and like niche interest. Like it's not like a car is an artful object because it takes multiple disciplines to create. Like there's the design aspect of it, then there's the metalwork, the engineering, and like all of those are art. You put it together, it is now a product. And you're taking photos of a product. You're doing product photography in a sense. And I'm not going to say there aren't artistic photos and people don't make legitimate art with cars, because they do. I don't feel like I'm at that level. I'm not like, God, what is it? His name, there's a dude over.
You're about to say 6 Speed Soul?
No, sorry. Wow. Sorry, Colton. I mean, love your stuff. It is really good. But I was particularly going to name drop someone I've never met. So that's how cool I am. But no, there's this guy, I want to say his name's like Hussein Turek or something like that on Instagram. He's over in LA. He does a bunch of really interesting, I'd call it like portraiture with cars. He sells some badass prints. Again, I'm plugging it like, I don't know, we're like 5 minutes in maybe.
That's actually interesting, because that's some shit that I would love to get into. Like, I think that like a cool side of art and photography with cars is being able to like portray the lifestyle around cars without it being too forced. That kind of sounds like what you're describing.
So he's in particular, a couple of photos come to mind where it's like he's in there's some like Art Deco kind of neighborhood that's really popular from like LA area, and they've got like a bunch of pastel color houses and stuff. It's really pretty, with like palm trees and stuff, and it's got mountains in the background. So it's typical California fare of being the most photogenic place in the world. But, he's got these oddball cars parked out there, like a Fiat 500 in front of this nice house. And it's like the old school, like, yellow rag top.
Yeah.
And it's all pastel colors. And it's just like, it's got depth to it. And it's just like, that looks like some sort of like kind of old Renaissance painting or something where it's like perspective based, It's not just like a, dude, fucking 20 degrees of camber, and it's in like a gas station. I'm like, that.
In a gas station.
Fucking bussing. Like it's not anything like that. Not even remotely close.
Damn, straight up calling me out right off the fucking bat. Just shits on all photographers, and then directly calls me out for camber and gas stations, because that is me.
Well,
through and through.
I think that's the other side of automotive photography, and it's I'm not gonna say it's not valid. It's just like I don't look at that as like not. It's gonna sound negative, but I don't look at it.
I know I'm setting you up for that. Come on, spit it out.
As like what I described, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand. I don't take offense to it.
Yeah. There's not, you know. I think art comes from like thought and like ability, like.
Well, and it's soul. Art is soul primarily. I feel like so. But encompassed in that is thought and ability.
Yeah, because like, you know, you're just gonna throw shit on a canvas, and it's just like, okay, like you didn't think of anything there, and there's no skill, and just, you know, the same thing goes with taking a photo of a car. It like, oh hey, you know, it's a side profile in front of my house. Like,
yeah,
you just woke up that day, grabbed the camera, said click, and that's gonna do numbers on the gram, and it's just like, hey, who cares? Like,
I was gonna say, a lot of the time. It's just pictures that you know will do well on Instagram. Yeah. But
and it's like, it could be a cool image, like it's aesthetically pleasing and awesome, but it's also just like you gotta. I feel like if you want to be like if you want to call yourself a photographer, you'd have to be like multidiscipline, or like take that thoughtful approach to stuff.
Yeah.
Like I do have thought behind what I do, and like take like considered approaches to stuff, but I'm just like I still don't want to call myself a photographer.
So you just hold the term photographer on a pedestal,
right,
and you don't feel like you're there yet.
Right.
Okay. So he wasn't shitting on photography. He was doing the opposite.
Yeah. Sense. I haven't. I feel like there are a handful of people out there in automotive photography, which is oversaturated to all hell and back. I mean, like the camera technology is so accessible and ever present in everyday life. Like, dude, you've got a cool car and you just spent $20,000 putting it together, and you live like in the middle of nowhere, but you're like, I want cool photos of this, and you know, social media is everywhere. Even those far reaches, you're just like, well, I guess I'll go buy a camera and go take photos of my car.
I mean, you can spend any amount of money and get a good camera and get good pictures. Right away.
Like
all you need is depth of field, and that's it.
Right, and it's like even at like $300, you can get a decent camera nowadays. Like I can't tell you an example because I don't keep up with the times. I'm a fucking boomer. I'm an old man.
Dude, iPhones are fucking ridiculous now. The new, like the 13 Pro Max or whatever that has the cinema mode in video.
Right.
Granted, it's not real, and like there's bits of it where it's just like, that looks awful.
Yeah.
But to the regular untrained eye, the consumer, they're just like, background blur, that looks fucking awesome. And I'm like, fucking have at it, man. iPhones have come a long way. They're actually pretty ridiculous.
And speaking of iPhones, if you want to feel bad about your photography work, and as someone with a legitimate camera, even if you think you're really good, I recommend checking out an Instagram account called Capturing the Machine. That's a friend of mine, Kevin McCauley. He's out in Texas. He's a legit ass dude. I mean, he's worked with like Pennzoil and Porsche. There was a really cool photo series he did where they flew him out to Germany. I think Stuttgart's where Porsche's headquartered at.
Yeah.
They gave him a Porsche and said, "You're driving to the port. We're loading it on an airplane, flying it to Atlanta, and you're driving it to Porsche headquarters in Atlanta." And that whole thing was captured with like a DSLR, and it looked dope, and it was on his website. But all of his Instagram, like 99% of his Instagram, is just iPhone pictures, and it's like, this just shits on anything you do. Like anyone, any level, that guy is killing you.
I'm not gonna lie though, I can kind of relate to that because every time, like in the few short periods that my car has been together and done. My favorite photos are always iPhone pictures.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know whether it's because it makes it look more real or it's just relatable. Maybe it's what I see, closer to what I see from my eyes. But my favorite pictures of my car are always from my phone, and it's the weirdest fucking thing. And so Instagram pages that are primarily just iPhone pictures, especially if they're very like good ones where they're like thought out and the composition's really cool or like making the most out of the wide angle and doing some cool shit. I can appreciate that for sure.
And that's exactly what this page is. It's just like the craziest use of light and composition and angles, and it's just like, this is all cell phone stuff. And I'm like, I can't get this close to the actual camera. That's I'm not a photographer.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you can tell like real photographers apart when you take away their their equipment, when you take away their things that allow them to do things very easily, like you'll be able to tell pretty quick who's about it and who's not. I mean, 80% of the ones that aren't about it will just complain and not shoot anything anyway.
Yeah.
And some of them will try, and the pictures just won't look good.
Yeah. So I think too, a lot of photographer people starting out, like I said, I started in 2013, but I would say I didn't participate in like the car scene until like 2016.
Yeah.
And like, sorry, I'm doing the classic Zaytunde, take my head away from the mic to breathe a little bit here.
Just breathe, man. Everybody got to breathe.
Everybody has to breathe. So take a breath if you haven't. Little breath bake.
Right, let's do it together. Ready? Hold on. We'll go in through the nose and out through the mouth. Ready?
All right, now you're all breathed up.
Why do I feel like that was weirdly soothing for anybody that was fucking listening? That was weirdly soothing for me to hear it through the headphones.
Welcome to the ASMR session with Liam Els and Charles Hoehaver. We're going to be breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. And now you're going to go to sleep listening to this podcast. Nightmare. Yeah, okay, anyways. Yeah, I didn't get involved to the scene until like 2016. I started shooting with Slammed Enough because... yeah, they'll work with a lot of people. We'll just say that.
Yeah, we don't need to go into. I wish you hadn't. You should have just not name dropped, because then I could have just been like, there's a lot of businesses out here that just use photographers for pictures and don't pay anybody. Sorry, Slammed Enough, but that's not me stating an opinion. That's
fact. Yeah, that's fair. You know, I mean, that's what you got to look out for as like someone doing this. Like, you know, it's just like back in 2016. I was on a Micro Four Thirds crop sensor, fucking bullshit ass camera, no viewfinder, just a screen.
Dude, I was on Micro Four Thirds too. I was shooting GH4 back in 16.
I think I was using an Olympus Pen EPL1 or something. Stupid name. Like, who names stuff like that, right? But like
the marketing team at Olympus probably.
Yeah. Get it together, man.
Yeah, like, come on, call it something too cool, like the fucking RS2 or something.
Yeah, just take a number out of BMW's book. If you're gonna name after numbers, at least make it like short and like a sequence.
I'd be pissed if I got a fucking camera called the 335i.
I mean, I would too.
That's like cancer of cameras, dude. I would throw that shit straight out.
the 318 IS.
Dude, check out my 318D. Wow, you must be poor.
That's how Nikon names their shit. We're just halfway shitting on Nikon over here.
Yeah, I've never shot Nikon, and I feel like for the longest time I was just like, fuck Nikon, I don't really care. And then they came out with like their mirrorless cameras, which were weirdly fucking good at video.
Yeah.
And you know who it was that like changed my opinion on Nikon? Skura Weekly. You familiar with that guy?
Yeah, dude,
yeah. I came across his channel, watched his videos, and I was like, man, these are so good. And I watched more in detail, and I'd like watch them on the TV, and I was like, I can tell that it's full frame. It's all like, because it's obviously got like good depth of field to it.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's really, really crisp. Like, this has a high bit rate, and I know fucking full well Sony doesn't have good bit rate on any of their video cameras up until now.
Yeah.
I was like, what fucking camera is this?
Yeah.
And I think I messaged him, and I was like, dude, what camera are you shooting on? Because it's really, really crisp, but it's also like, I can see that you're doing like 120 frames too, and blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, it's the Nikon Z6. I was like, the what? He's like, the Nikon Z6. I was like, those do that?
Yes.
And then I went like full deep dive into the Z6 and was like, yo, I may consider this. And then I realized the autofocus sucks.
Yeah. See, I didn't even know they did a Z.
Yeah, that's their like mirrorless line.
That's
is
crazy.
The Z, Z7, Z6, blah, blah, blah.
It's crazy what happens when you like don't pay attention to technology at all. It's just like, whoa, that's a thing? Like, dude, it's been a thing for like 5 years now.
I really embarrassingly pay attention to Sony's stuff. Like, I have lliterally spent the last 4 years hating Sony because I had an A7S II and I hated it.
Yeah.
And then
you do.
Yeah, and then I got an A7 III and like I kind of like it. And then they keep coming out with cameras that like I'm like, wow, these are really good, but I still want to hate Sony because they fucked me on that A7S II.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough,
it's the problem of using Sonys. You know, they bring in like with the flashing lights, and it's like, oh, look, it's fancy and new.
I swear,
and then
just
it's
like
just like, hey, it's actually really bad. Good luck though. And I'm like,
I would love to go back to Canon, but there's so many things that I just wouldn't sacrifice. I got so excited last year when Canon announced that they were coming out with the R5, like all the specs on it. They marketed that thing as a fucking video camera, and I was like, this is incredible. I have to buy it. I have to buy it. Came out immediately. Overheating. Every headline is overheating. I'm like, that sucks. And it turns out that they marketed it really wrong. They were like, yeah, this is a professional video camera, when actually it's a professional stills camera that has really good video features that you can use
like 30 seconds.
20, 30 seconds before it literally implodes.
It's badass.
And then Panasonic fucking comes out with their S1H, which is the competitor. It looks incredible.
Yeah.
Fucking contrast-based AF. What am I supposed to do with that? That's like 10-year-old technology. Like,
yeah.
If Panasonic, I always said, if Panasonic came out with a full-frame camera, I'd buy it. And the S1, S1H was the announcement of that. And then just, why would you not put a better autofocus system in it? Just
beats me, dude. All I know is with when it comes to like gear and stuff, like you have to look at cameras nowadays and realize it's in like the horsepower race of like the 90s, where it's just like, and even today, where it's just like megapixel size this, sensor that, whatever. And it's just like, man, like I said, I started on that Olympus fucking small thing, and like, dude, I mean, again, not a high bar to reach, but I was all over on Slam enough, and that like got me my initial burst of popularity, which is fleeting. It doesn't fucking matter. Like before,
I get caught in the rat race of equipment and gear. I'll be watching all the videos.
Oh, dude, they're so interesting though. I forget.
I stay on top of the technology that's out there, but I am kind of happy to say I am still behind the times. Like I'm on an A7 III, which by now I should be on an A7S III.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I'm making do with this until I can like actually justify spending $5,000 on a fucking camera.
When I upgraded to my what I use now, which is A7 II, I mean, when that came out, when I bought that, I had the chance to buy like an A9 or whatever.
Yeah.
And like knowing what I would know about it now, it's like, yeah, I probably should have doled out that little bit extra, but it was just like, but I'm also like not crazy about like megapixel size. And it's just like,
to be honest with you, I guess I hadn't said this, but it is different between photo and video work though.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Photography stuff, I would still be content with using my 6D that I used to have like 5 or 6 years ago. I'd have no problem using that camera because like the autofocus wasn't good, but I manual focus all the time. I rarely ever shoot moving subjects.
Yeah.
And so the 6D was fine. The megapixels were fucking fine.
Right.
The A7S II, which I shot with for like 3 years, it's 12 megapixels. I've never had a single person, like a paid client, complain about the size of their pictures. Yeah. So, megapixels, couldn't give a flying.
Yeah, yeah. If you're just posting on Instagram, dude, like it doesn't matter. Like it just straight up doesn't matter.
No,
and even if it's like
if you want to get into photography stuff and you're just planning to like build a reputation on Instagram, go buy like a 5D Mark II used off eBay because they're still incredibly good cameras.
Yeah,
and the colors from Canon are like unbeatable in my eyes.
100 of
spend your money on lenses as opposed to buying like a really nice fancy camera because 90% of the features on that camera you're probably not going to use them, and then you just wasted your money for what to flex on people.
Absolutely, be like, dude, I got the fucking whatever, the best, the top tier.
I was gonna say, you know how much harder it is if you build a reputation for being a photographer and having like incredible pictures, and this has happened many a times, especially around Riverside, because Riverside always brings out like new photographers or people I wasn't aware of, right? You like see their work around, and you're like, man, this stuff is incredible, and you finally like see the person, like you see them in person, and you realize that they're shooting on like a really old kind of shitty camera.
Yeah, like that John 90s guy, like just
I mean
killing
that go figure. Which shout out to him, he's actually local to chat. But like it's so much harder if you're shooting on a shitty camera and taking amazing pictures than if you're shooting on a amazing camera and taking mid-ass pictures. Like seriously, you have nothing to brag about if you have like $10,000 worth of camera equipment and your pictures are just really blah.
Dude, I remember when I like first got into like cameras and stuff. It was like 2013, the like big YouTube boom. You had Freddie W and like Corridor Digital. I was like, I want to make action shorts, and like this is going to translate very well for the audio viewers. But look at me. I mean, come on, Not happening. Anyways.
I just want to make it a rule that if you want to come on this podcast, you actually do have to have a mustache.
Because
everybody that's been on here has a mustache. Me and Matt have mustaches. Ben had a beard and mustache, and you have a mustache. And that's probably why Ben, my other roommate, has not been on the podcast yet. Because he can't grow one.
It's unfortunate. He has every beautiful genetic except for a beautiful mustache. He doesn't have those genes.
He gets like a little bit of stubble come in on his face. I'm like, yo, please keep that. And he's like, no, it looks so bad. I'm like, dude, keep it and just line yourself up. I guarantee you'll look 10 years older and like you'll look like a fucking daddy for sure.
That's the thing. Intentionally looking bad is the fashion, Like,
yeah, dude.
Like, high fashion looks like shit, but people are all about it. So just keep rocking it. Just look like an idiot 24/7. You're going to be cool one day. Same thing goes for your photography as well. So it's just a little pro tip.
Wait, you just take shit pictures. Eventually you'll be cool.
Absolutely. Because eventually your shit pics will be in style. People be like, dude, have you shot with shit pic head guy? Whatever. I don't know his fucking name on his handle, but he's fucking sick ass, dude.
have you shot with @shithead pic on Instagram yet? Yeah. Super shithead dude.
Yeah, if that's not already an account, that's my alt.
Just @shithead pic.
But yeah, so
we got off track. I fucking forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about gear and stuff, and I do think it doesn't matter. Like,
no, it really doesn't.
Like, because like you said earlier, you remove all the gear from someone, and it's like, that's gonna prove whether you can do this shit or not.
Right.
And I see a lot of people all the time complain, like, especially with the high end gear. It's like, I just spent all this money and I don't have anyone to shoot with, and it's just like, man,
maybe you should have like got people to shoot with before you got the gear.
Yeah.
Like you could have made do with some way lesser shit.
Dude, you can make do with cars on the street. Like it doesn't like that's what I like. Before I was not on Instagram very early on. I got on Instagram like in I think like 2015, right? So it had been rolling for a while at that point. I was on Tumblr, and like car Tumblr was fucking sick. I did not make a lot of friends on there, mostly because it's like, I don't know, people just didn't communicate.
Maybe Matt's big thing, if you haven't listened to the other podcast, Matt's big thing with Tumblr that he was saying, because I didn't have like a car thing on Tumblr. Right. I was still into other stuff, and Tumblr was still just about porn back then. Matt's whole thing was that people were like real big on gatekeeping on Tumblr. Like there were a lot of people that were just like protecting the fuck out of things that weren't even theirs.
Yeah.
Like people fucking fighting off motherfuckers with virtually fighting people with swords over like Kaido races and stuff.
Yeah, that shit's lame. But what was cool about it was just the wide breadth of like car related content you could get on there. I mean, like Top Gear had a page, StanceWorks had a page. A lot of the guys I've mentioned already that's how I know them was through there.
I'm kind of bummed that I wasn't like big into it then, because I wasn't shooting car stuff. I've always been into cars, always loved cars. I wasn't shooting cars until 2015.
Yeah.
And then I like moved to the US. And so Tumblr was already pretty much done by that point. Like as soon as they took away porn,
dude,
Tumblr
it was hilarious. Like, I mean, it was like the same day it was gone. Like it was just like
such a weird thing. And I know that there's probably somebody out there listening that's like, no, Tumblr's still there, bro.
It still is, but it's also
it is,
dead.
But like nobody's on Tumblr.
Yeah, you can't come back from a strike like that. Like it's just not. It's the same shit with like MySpace. Like, oh, it's still around. It's like, not how it was originally though. Not how it got popular. And
MySpace nowadays would be fucking sweet. Like it really would. I do kind of miss that. In the UK, we had
have your top 5 friends and show who you really like. Everyone else go fuck themselves.
Yeah, I love that you could like pimp out your page, dude. You like personalize everything.
Yeah, people want that back. And
that's how we all learned coding, and none of us retain that information whatsoever.
Yeah, because all it was done, all you learned to code for and whatever was like to put crawling on your fucking Instagram page. It was fucking Imagine that every time you open Instagram, fucking crawling in my skin plays. This dude's still living in 2005.
They really should do that with an Instagram page, though. They should let us pimp our Instagram pages, because YouTube used to do it too. Like I remember back in the day, you could go on YouTube and change everything. Yeah. You could change you could make it look like fucking like Harlequin.
Yeah.
On YouTube, you could change all the backgrounds, all the different squares, the text. You could make it look so unbelievably bad. Why would they take that away?
It's advertisement, like, dude. I gotta listen. I gotta plug my Blue Chew pills and my fucking whatever else.
Chill, they're not paying us. We're using them, but they're not They're not paying us on this.
You've had really good results with them, right? Listen. I personally stick to the gas station dick penis pills, but
my dog loves them.
That's gonna be the first sponsor is dick pills for this.
It would be so sick if this podcast got to a point where we had like actual corporate sponsors, but I like couldn't imagine that happening because the demographic is so specific. I would have to have sponsors that are like part of the car scene.
Can I name drop?
What?
Clutch Wheel.
We have Clutch sponsors?
Yeah, Clutch sponsor. Yeah, dude. That'd go over well for you.
I mean, I actually had a set of clutch wheels.
Really?
Well, yeah, because they were handed to me by Slam It Off. Yeah.
That's the only way I know about them.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't know.
That was my introduction to them, was through Slam It Off.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know about them before Slam It Off. So I guess Slam It Off did a good thing for helping them out.
Yeah,
but
they had a dub. They had their dub. That's good for them. That's very good for them.
Yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about clutch wheels. I did beat the shit out of those things. And then I gave them to my friend who used them on a drift car. So
badass.
They got passed along. But that's all they're good for.
Yeah, so anyways.
I was trying to think of other like corporate sponsors that would be on it. Dude, Toyo Tires sponsors this shit.
Yeah, just have like the big Toyo logo here.
It'd be fire.
The thing is, I don't think they would print small enough to fit on the camera because everything Toyo Tires does is like
massive,
the size of a fucking semi.
Well, no, like okay, what realistically, what sponsors would actually make sense for this podcast? Because Toyo Tires, they're not gonna sell any fucking tires. My demographic. Demographic?
Yeah, democratic.
My democrackhead. My demographic is fucking people that buy look, literally I'm the prime example. I have Achilles ATR Sport 2s. They're $60 a tire. Nobody's going to pay $200+ a tire for stance cars. So that is already out the door. We ain't doing Toyo tires.
Fair enough.
Who else was okay, VIP Modular, come through and sponsor this cause you already know we're going to plug.
You should just reach out to just like Junction Produce and all those other like random ass VIP Japanese companies that like no one on the team really speaks that fluent of English.
They'll just say yes, but then there'll be nothing that comes of it. I'll just be plugging them and then they'll repost it, but there'll be nothing else. It's not
like 3 years down the line,
I just send an invoice. It's like $1,000 per episode.
Yeah, no, they'll pay it or something.
Old Takatomi sitting at his desk.
He's just like one of those little knots that you hang in, and it's just like, oh, thank you for the plugs. After 3 years of doing it, here's the knot.
They mail me a fucking care package that's got some like neck pads in it. They're definitely on the right color for my car.
Yeah, they're hot pink neck pads, dude.
Fuck. No, I don't even know who would. Hey, if anybody is listening and you own a business or you work for a business that would like to sponsor this podcast, please let me know. And please make sure that it's something that I would agree with. Because if ESR hits me up and it's like, hey, we want to sponsor the podcast, one, it would be really, really funny. Fuck, that might actually be like genius marketing too.
And then just
ESR,
hang the ugliest one they
make
with like the spiked lug nuts because that's really cool and everyone loves that.
If ESR sponsored this, they know that I'm just going to talk shit, but it would sell the fuck out of their wheels. It would just plug the brand.
Yeah, that's
kind of smart. Damn it, maybe we'll just go full like
any good press is something like that. Right? Bad press is good press. What? Men smarter than I have said more brilliant things than I have about things like that.
Men smarter than I.
Yes. You got to sound.
But I mean, it would be
kind of dumb.
We could do a whole fucking. I'll just flip this shit completely upside down. This episode is sponsored by ESR Wheels, and then it's just me talking shit about the wheels, and they're paying me like amazingly well for it, and they're still making sales. Kind of be backwards. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but
you know it's great.
Massive plot twist.
The audience right now is like, dude, I love sponsors.
Yo, you want to talk about sponsors? You probably get this come up. There's I don't remember the name. That's probably good because I don't particularly want to use this to call anybody out or like any of that shit. But I get these ads on Facebook all the time that there's a black BRZ with a wide body kit. Your standard like if you're like for fucking stance cars. Like that's what's going to draw you in. And then it says, do you want to get sponsored in massive, like, dude, it's like impact bold font, right? Yeah. And I have clicked on this link because I'm like, what is this? Mm-hmm. Can I make something funny? Can I make a funny video? And I like look into this and dude, it's a fucking pyramid scheme. And I'm like, what? Like what you do is you go on the thing and you enter in all your information, which of course they're just going to sell your information.
Hey, of course.
And then to be accepted, or like, I mean, I guarantee everybody gets accepted, right? That's obviously their business model. I believe you then pick out, you know, the window banner that you want. It's marketing for them. Yeah. You pick out like a shirt. You tell them your size shirt that you wear, whatever, and you have to pay for a starter pack to unlock the discount codes.
Shit. Dude, badass.
And so it's like $57, and the $57 gets you a windshield banner, some probably normal size stickers, a shirt, and then bragging rights to say that you're sponsored. And then you unlock these discount codes.
Yes.
Which it doesn't tell you what the discount codes are, how big the discounts are, what companies they're for. Who knows if they're even valid? I'm just like, who falls for this?
Dude, that's awesome.
And they are dumping money into these ads because they show up for me like 10 times a day on Facebook.
It's great to see that like that 2016 era sponsorship shit is still around. Like, because that was big back then. It was like, because Instagram was like blowing up and people were trying to get clout any way possible by being sponsored. And it's like, that was a thing people did back then too.
No, I remember, dude, the Mustang community was like the worst place for sponsorship stuff. I remember there were like the few big accounts that were like the Illuminati in that world because they were sponsored by every fucking company possible. And it's like, at what point, as one of those companies that's like involved in that car, at what point are you like taking a step back and thinking like, yeah, what are we benefiting from this? Because he's sponsored by 40 other companies, and I guarantee at least 6 of them are our competitors.
Absolutely. Dude.
What the fuck?
There are some not semi-related, right? There are some just terrible, like, car clubs, whatever you want to, just selling banners. You know?
Oh, well, yeah, the whole, that, like, thing where the club is a brand, and then to be part of the club, you have to basically pay an admission, which gets you your windshield banner.
Yeah.
Kids, if you're listening to this, please don't fall for that stuff. They're just taking advantage of you. And I'm sorry if you do own one of those clubs. I apologize. I really don't apologize. Stop taking advantage of kids. If you want people to buy your brand, create something of value and people will buy it. Literally.
Yes.
Do something cool, people will buy it. Don't scam people into buying into whatever you're putting out because you want to fucking line your pockets. Stupid.
I'm going to be the devil on the shoulder. Listen, kids, you want to make money? You know, hey, you can sell NFTs. That's fine. Whatever. Who cares, right?
Nice fucking titties.
Well, exactly. But you could also just do exactly everything he said not to do because someone's got to be the villain of the story. I've heard that. Again, another person, not me, said that originally. And, there's been some terrible ones out there. I don't know if they fall exactly what you're talking to about, but Colton told me about this group out in Arizona that's called Simple Minded. That's their club banner. Why would you call yourself that? That's fantastic. Like, I'm simple minded. Like, you're just saying I'm stupid. That's great.
You know what?
If you're scamming people into buying that, 10 out of 10. Good effort. You're
if there is
people pay to say you're stupid.
To be honest, awesome. that is a level of trolling that like goes above a lot of people, and I respect that as much as still. Please don't take advantage of people. But
it is very funny.
There was I don't know if it was a club or some kind of group or whatever. It was a windshield banner thing that was down in Florida. And
it's the Volkswagen group?
No. And I'm sure like somebody from it, somebody who knows them is probably going to be listening to this, whatever. And I'm not calling them out for anything, but it was called Ignorant Click. Like Ignorant.
Yeah.
And I really, part of me really, really, really hoped that the joke was that they're so ignorant they can't spell ignorant right. I really, really hope that's what it was. I'm not sure if it was or not, or if it was just slang for saying ignorant.
Yeah.
But that playing in my mind was very funny.
Yeah, it's very good, very good.
I was like, yes. See, he can't even spell the word that. Good.
Speaking of terrible groups, There was a group in Florida, I believe it was a Volkswagen group. I thought you were going to talk about it because it's another like this is terrible, but it's
before
also,
you
funny.
Say anything super derogatory. I don't want to use this podcast to call people out.
Oh, dude, no, we're not going to. We can. It's just this is. I just want to bring this up because it's funny.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
And they already got called out like earlier last year, so this is.
I have to give that like disclaimer that like all the MTV shows say where it's like.
The opinions expressed in this show are not representative of the person running it, aka this guy. They are my opinions, not his. So again, send your hate mail to me.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
Yeah. See, I got the voice. Don't worry about it. I got
actually.
You
have
commanding voice.
One of the most fantastic radio voices ever.
Thank you.
Can you do an ad read for LEP right now?
Absolutely. Let me just like ad lib a bit. Let's see.
Talk about these hats. Sell these hats right now. It's the LEP VIP
do you have
modular.
a discount code right now for like holidays or anything like that? Well, listen, I'm getting this man to talk about sponsors and hating on people. It's going to be a great podcast for listening.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do. I'll do 25% off these hats for this ad read, and the code is. Fuck, what should the code be?
Just be my last name. How about that?
Hoehaver?
Yeah.
Hoehaver?
Yeah.
Well, they gotta know. No, that's too hard because they want to know how to spell it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the great part about it.
Only few of you will be smart enough to unlock
Listen,
this.
You have to check my Instagram profile to unlock the discount code.
No, do fuck, what's a I had something in my mind just then and I've totally forgotten. Just do NFT.
Yeah, NFT? Nice.
Yeah, just do NFT. There you go. All right.
Okay.
You know what the website is, right?
No, I don't actually.
lepautomotive.com/shop.
Attention listeners, if you're in the market for the most stylish dance car hats around, go on down to lepautomotive.com, discount code NFT, and unlock 25% off for your LEP Automotive fine-ass fucking hat, which you can see on Liam's head in the podcast video viewers. If you're an audio listener, I don't know, get eyes or something. Anyways, on to back to the show.
Back to the show.
Yeah, hey, listen, dude. I got a stutter, okay?
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, don't fucking bitch. I'll murder you. Let's see. I whispered into the mic, even though he's got headphones on. He didn't hear that, so don't worry about it. Listener, we're good.
Well, when I hired you, said that you had a fucking radio voice. I didn't realize you were gonna show up and be all like, back to the show.
Back to the future. How about that? Monster kill. That's a little Quake reference. No one's gonna get that.
That was not me making fun of people with stutters, by the way. I get anxious about being canceled for the little tiny things all the time. I swear.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't
worry about it. Just push through.
Okay.
Just like this podcast, we're pushing through to the next topic.
But yeah, because we're getting close to the hour point, I know that there is something that you wanted to talk. Like you had a topic when you called me earlier. Yes. You had a topic that you wanted to get onto in the podcast, and so I want to hear some on that and like poke you about it and ask some questions because I really don't. I don't know what it is that you're talking about. So
just the brief of it is, I believe, and against my belief, not his. So again, don't attack anybody but me for this. Nostalgia is like killing car design, but it's also killing like the car aftermarket and just anything related to cars. And it actually goes further past cars. I'm going to relate to cars. And it started in like the early 2000s with like the retro design trends and stuff. And like while some of them are very cool, like the Mustang went from looking like kind of like shit to less like shit. And now I think it's the best it's ever looked.
Are you saying the transition from the like new edge style
new edge,
Mustang where it's kind of rounded to being like boxy again and very retro?
Yeah. And
you're saying that's bad?
It started as something cool, and as we've went on, it's become like less cool. Like instead of creating new ideas and coming up with new trends and stuff, we're just falling back on namesakes and nostalgia, and we're not getting anything new. And when something does come out new, it's still like falling back to old namesakes, like the new Integra. That is, I mean, and for all intents and purposes,
what a disappointment.
Yeah, the bad thing is it was no fault of Honda that a really good render of an Acura Integra came out, which was like RSX for 90% of it with a photoshopped front end.
Yeah.
But people were just like, "That's the new Integra, pretty fucking sick, guys." And it's just like, no, don't believe that.
Well, hold on, I could have sworn that like a year ago I saw a spy shot of a weird coupe that people were saying was the new Integra, and it looked weirdly like that render, and I feel like the render came afterwards.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that weird little coupe?
I have no idea, but you can't believe any of that because that's true. There's also been several like spy shots of cars that are absolutely CGI. Like,
what in the fuck?
Yeah, because people get a huge rise out of giving people, ribbing people into believing some things are real and they're not.
Garrett, sad machines, man. Stop making us believe that those things are real, dude. They're way too cool.
That guy's cool. That guy's tight. There's a bunch of
he's gonna hopefully come on here.
That'd be kick ass.
We're trying to convince him to move to Chattanooga. Because I don't know where, and Matt's been telling me he lives somewhere out in Bumblefuck. Nobody. What are you doing?
As tends to be the case of many great artists, yes.
Yes. Dude. I mean, maybe that's why he's so good, is because he has nothing else.
Yeah,
he'll probably just move here and we'll ruin him. He'll not create anything.
He'll have a friend group and in close proximity and things to do.
I don't need this form of expression now because I have a life. Sorry, Garrett, I'm so sorry. I don't know you like that.
He's going to ruin your life.
I don't know you like that to be talking about you like that, but we do appreciate your artwork. You're very talented.
But yeah, so when like that retro car styling came around, it like I said, it's making companies use new ideas on old namesakes and in turn getting negative reception. Like if that car would have came out and not been called the Integra, like it wouldn't have got much response, but it wouldn't have got a response.
No, that's why they did it. Is they used the namesake as the way to get the response.
They're cashing out on you.
Yeah, but what the fuck was the point? Because like people aren't gonna like it. It's not gonna do anything good for your brand.
It doesn't matter though, because you're not the market. The market is the people that fall for the nostalgia ploy or the people that don't know any better. And because
and the people that don't know any better just see the hype around it and are like, that must be good.
Yeah, it must be good. Got to get it. It's like you don't know anything, but like.
Okay, well, how do you feel about the Mustang Mach-E then?
It's terrible because again, you're same fucking shit. You're falling onto a namesake to push a new idea that's terrible. Like the thing.
I mean, it's not terrible. The car on its own, I think, is a fucking cool car, but it doesn't need to be called a Mustang.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's not deserving of the tag Mustang.
They literally could have kept those fucking tail lights on it and not called it the Mustang.
Yeah,
we still would have found it cool, and I guarantee it still would have got the same hype.
Yeah, and
I don't think that Mustang namesake helped it.
No, and you could also just call it literally anything else and make it look like literally anything else. That's the other thing too. Is like even with EVs, you're getting to the point where it's like, why are we making these cars that there's no running gear, there's no transmission, there's none of that. Like, you don't have to design around common car conventions because it's not a regular car.
Right, it doesn't need to have a grill for air intake. It doesn't need those things.
You see these cars, they don't have the grills, but they still have, like, the height, like, there'd be a grill here. It's like...
It's because they're scared that going outside of the conformity cause people to not like it at all.
Yeah,
but here's the thing, is with change, it takes time for that to happen. You have to be the first person to do it.
Right.
And then give it 5 years, that'll be normal.
Yeah.
It'll be normal for cars not to have grills or have a completely different front end shape.
Yeah. And you're seeing like these companies come out with like, the boxy, like, retro, whatever. And it's just like that same nostalgia bait of like, look, it's old school looking, but it's a modern EV. It's like, that's not cool to me either. And this, again, it's personal. No, I don't think that's cool.
So
I think it's like,
you don't like, was it a Kia
I think
or a Honda? The thing that literally is like, it looks like it's from the 80s.
Yeah, I think that was the Hyundai, fucking, like the sedan or whatever you're talking about. Yeah, that shit's lame because people,
you don't like that?
No, I don't.
Okay. That was the one car that I'm like, yep. That changed my mind on EVs. I'd buy an EV after that.
Well, that's the thing is like they're not going to sell that because whatever materials they had to make that car back in the 80s, that doesn't exist anymore, and they're not going.
Well, no, that wasn't from the 80s.
Are you talking about like a new thing that they put out? Again, I don't pay attention to a lot of this.
Yeah, it was either a Hyundai or a Kia. This is a new car.
Okay.
That literally looks like it's from like the 80s. It's square. Like the interior looks like it's old, but it has all these like new little bits on it.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong about
you keep talking. I want to see if I can pull this up because to me it was one of the coolest looking things I've seen in a little while.
But I think to get away from the design aspect of this, because this isn't like a car design podcast. I'm not a car designer. I've been in that world, I guess, but I'm not that. So to relate this to aftermarket modification stuff, you know, yeah, that thing. So that you're telling me it's a new car they're actually going to make? Because
I don't know if they're actually going to make it, but I mean, that's their like original car from 1980s, and they're like, it's just a concept right now. But if they did make that, I think that's like those headlights are fucking sick. I get what you're saying. Like, this is obviously they're playing on the nostalgia, but this is like they're not trying to avoid it. Like, hey, this is a new thing with things from this is an old car that they modernized, and it's like a retro mod. I think it's fucking sick.
So like that resto mod stuff, like that's what sucks is like they're pulling you in with an idea to sell you something that's completely not that. Like that car will never come out in that shape because safety standards now dictate it would have to be different.
Yes.
And
dude, like, look, it's got infinity mirrors in the fucking roof.
Yeah.
Like, bro, this changed my perception on EVs.
Right.
I was like, damn, that's cool. But you're right.
If EVs could come out and look like that, that would be tight because again, you're bucking the trend of like, oh well, we made an EV and it has to look like the Tesla 3 or the Prius, like where it's like,
dude, that slammed on SSR Mark IIs.
Anything looks good on lowered on wheels.
15-inch.
I saw a fucking 2003 Cadillac DeVille that was like slammed on like 19s, and I'm like, that looks good. This car normally looks like shit. Do something a little bit out of the box, it looks good.
Imagine some fucking shitty, like 20 years from now, some shitty 16-year-old gets a hold of this. And he sees stuff from Tumblr back in the day, or like weird things. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna put an external oil cooler on my EV. Hey, it would look good on this car specifically, but that would be such a funny thing.
But I think how this relates to like modern like aftermarket car modification stuff is like, you know, you see people like making these builds that are inspired by retro stuff, and that's fine. Like that's cool to do because that's
like an individual building something, or like talking OEM still.
Like an individual, like a person on Instagram. You know, you see it all the time, and it's fine. Like it's cool. I genuinely do enjoy like, you know, the S chassis drift dudes like make like a 2003 D1 GP style car in like 2021. Like that's tight. That's awesome. But like people are just replicating looks, and they're not trying to do really anything out of the ordinary because it's like, yeah, you're going back in time with it, but you're still just copying something from the old. Again, not a problem with that, but you just like everyone's so nostalgic for the past because it was really good. Times now really suck, and don't think that's you know a hard thing to say. Yeah. But like, it's going forward. Time's moving forward. You got to do something new. You know, you got to try something new, and whether it looks good or not is up to you and your perspective. But like,
yeah. You know. Well, so the way that I always think about it is that like, okay, if you were ever try to think of a new color.
Oh yeah, no, I understand this.
Right, you can only
new ideas actually exist.
Right,
anymore.
I was gonna say you can only base it off of things that are already there.
Right.
But yeah, I get where you're coming from, and obviously a lot of people that build cars now, me included, like with VIP cars, I'm going based off of the history that's there and the cars that I've seen prior to now. You know, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Yeah, those are the cars that I'm basing my inspirations on.
Right.
Because I don't know what I would do if those didn't exist and I was just like, all right, I ought to come up with something new. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I mean, that's how all of those cars in like the early 2000s, that's probably how they ended up looking so extreme, is because car modification was such a new thing then that it was like, fuck it, stick this angle here, fucking flare it there, do this, blah, blah, blah.
And they weren't working with as many old namesakes. Like they weren't trying to keep these old namesakes alive.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
it was very new then.
Yeah, you had the 240 SX, which was no stretch, not a Z. Like the 300 ZX existed like 5 years prior. CRX came out. Civic was old, whatever. But like you had a bunch of different like crazy fucking new marquees that were started and ended in like the span of like 10 years.
Yeah.
And then like now you all just have like the old namesakes, you know? And like maybe we're primed for that again with EVs. I don't know. But
EV stuff is definitely something that I'm curious about. Like I'm very intrigued to see where things go, and probably it could be the next 5 years.
If they make cars, EV cars that look like shit from Tron, I'm all for it. But if it just continues to be Tesla 3 soap bars, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I hate that right now. Like Tesla kind of paved the way for what an EV should look like, and everybody's just kind of following that exact same formula.
Yep.
Kind of annoys me.
Yep. Same thing happened with the Insight, and then it became the Prius. And
I'd really like it if you guys could just go out of your way and make something different.
I think
like the same shape. It doesn't need to be that shape. You don't have to conform to the fact that there has to be an engine in the front.
Nope, not at all.
The windshield could literally be, the steering wheel and the windshield could literally be right there. Well, I guess they can't.
They can't
safety standards.
It would be cool if we had cab overs in 2022 or whatever. That would be sick.
Dude?
You know, my cab over like Volkswagen van.
You know what? Fuck your safety features. Do like an ejecto cab. Dude. When you're about to crash, technology will get there. Just fucking launch that shit off. Like launch it up into the air and then put a parachute off it. Come on.
I'm for it.
Sky's the limit.
Speed racer shit.
You guys that are designing OEM cars are fucking pussies. Build some cab overs.
This is the biggest take from the Photographer podcast. But I know we're at that hour limit, but just kind of.
It's not an hour limit. We can keep talking.
Oh hell yeah, brother!
I usually say like hour and a half is kind of a sweet spot.
Okay,
and if you got more to talk on this thing,
I think we briefly covered it, because if I go on any longer, I'm gonna look like Charlie Day from Always Sunny, where he's fucking pointing at the wall like, "You're not gonna believe this!" Like I'm gonna sound like that. So I'm just gonna bow right there.
Fair enough, but I mean, EVs. Mm-hmm. I'm very curious to see like right EVs related to the car community, and I do want to do a full episode on this at some point. Yeah. I'd maybe like to try and get somebody on that is higher up or works within those industries and is a car enthusiast, so they can give their take. But I just want to know like where do car enthusiasts go? What happens to car enthusiasts in the next 10 years when EVs are a thing, and like
where do they go when they die? They go to Carhala?
Yeah, I know, but like when petrol cars aren't a thing anymore, like are we just modifying EVs? Is there like I want to know.
Probably. And we're going to have every car guy house is going to look like the modernist hellhole of like, I have a car in my living room.
Dude, you want to go get boba? No, I got to charge my fucking car, dude. Like, what a fucking pain in the ass.
The battery's dead.
Hey, you got gas money? What's that? Dude, there's going to be kids.
You got electricity money?
Literally, there is going to be kids that are like being born now or in the next 5 years that will not know. They won't know about cars that go boom.
Yeah, I'm already old, but Jesus fucking Christ, that's gonna suck.
What would be like the? Because we always say you got money for gas, you got gas money.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be a slang term that the kids would use for electricity.
Oh, dude, I'm the worst to come for slang, because all my slang is like from the 50s and like foreign slang. Like
you got that buzz dough.
All right, yeah. Buzzdo. We're calling it. We're Babe Ruthing the slang for the 2030s or whatever. Just calling my fucking shot.
You got some fizz cash or something?
Fizz?
Yeah, dude. Electricity.
Carbonated?
Electricity is just fizz. That's all it is. It runs through cables and into things, and then they go fizz.
I always say electricity is God's magic, and I don't fuck with it, so,
You're damn right. I hate wiring. I literally hate it.
If you're looking to get into the car industry and you don't want to do backbreaking work, but you also really want that threat of death, the wiring harness specialty type guy is the way to go.
Oh, there's demand for it too, because nobody else wants to fucking do it.
No one wants to do it. And if you learn about it, you will not want to do it either. But that paycheck at the end of the day, oh buddy, it's sweet. It's sweet.
Is it though?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah. So
shops will be made and ended on the success and failures of like wiring bullshit.
Well, actually, that's going to be a very high demand industry if EVs are taking over. Yeah. Hey, you guys out there, okay, if you're in high school right now, say you're what's the second year of high school called? Because it has different names in England.
10th grade.
No, not the grades. Like you're a freshman.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't go to like I went to a high school, but like we didn't have that traditional bullshit.
Well, I went to school in England, and we do not give nicknames to year groups.
Oh, what's always in? What's always?
What's always in? But yeah, if you're a freshman in high school right now, and you're looking to like go to college to be a mechanic or whatever,
terrible decision.
Don't do it. Well, one, like, don't really go to college. Fucking, it's a scam. It's a pyramid scheme.
Good scam to run, though. So maybe run a college.
You are devil's advocate the entire time. But,
yes.
No, get into wiring now. Become an electrical engineer now. Because if we're going EVs in the next 10 years,
absolutely,
all of a sudden there's a bunch of fucking shitbox Teslas and whatever Kias and blah, 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 that are entirely electric, and your mechanic skills mean nothing.
Also, solar flare could wipe out your entire industry. Nightmare.
No, but I mean, if you think about it, like, yes, those cars are always going to have bolts, but anybody can turn bolts.
Yeah.
Get into electrical stuff now, because that's where the industry is going, and if you ain't with it, then you're going to fall off, and then you're going to be like, they took our jobs.
Absolutely. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be fucking... my oil car.
They took it away.
See, I work in the restoration industry, so as long as rich people have money to be stupid with and repair a car that should not be repaired by any stretch of the imagination, I'm golden.
Hey, dude, imagine restoring EVs. A little bit of fizz in there, a little bit of fizz in here.
Yeah, just change the battery and put a new coat of paint on it. Good to go.
Oh, I sounded like Stewie for a second. A bit of fizz right here.
This is now a Family Guy Funny Moments podcast. We're gonna watch
that one part where every single time he's talking to Brian about his book, writing a little book, Brian.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I came to Chattanooga to talk about Family Guy. Let's go, dude.
Nah, this is a good episode. I feel like people enjoy this. Like, I mean, yes, we put out some episodes that are very much like we're sticking to a topic. It's a very serious conversation. But episodes like this are the ones that are really fun to do. Like the episode that I did with Ben Garten the other week was so fun to record, because it's just us talking. That's literally what we're doing. Like, you called me, put me on the spot, and told me to fucking have you on the podcast. I was like, all right. And then you like, I've got a topic to talk about, and you briefly told me about it. I was like, I have no clue what you're talking about. So I'm glad that you like clarified now. But yeah, the majority of this was just freestyle. We're just shooting the shit, and that's what you guys would do in your garage at home.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just nonstop shit talk and spitballing and riffing. So it's a good time, and people listen to podcasts like that because, you know, it's that whole parasocial relationship.
Right. I mean, some days you just want to have some serious topics and some interesting things and insightful things. Yeah, I know. But
when I am serious, people can't tell because I'm never serious. Double-edged blade. So.
I was gonna say that's the same problem with me. I'm such a sarcastic cunt that people, I can I shouldn't reveal my secret, but I can very easily insult people and they have no idea.
His secret is that he's actually Superman. So you know.
Superman?
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah, dude. You're like Clark Kent. That's your secret.
Clark Kent?
Yeah. yeah. You're his British relative.
Can you do some Australian accents? Because
yeah, mate. What do you want to hear?
Fucking, it's good.
Yeah, no. I went to Australia, and they were like, I went to this pizza place called Pizza Society in Melbourne, and I went to place an order like I normally would at a place. I was like, hey, dude, can I get a pepperoni pizza? And he was like, oh, sorry, mate. Didn't quite catch that. What'd you say? And I was just like...
That's like me every time I fucking ask for water here in the US. They're like, what?
Yeah, what? But
water. Come again now. What'd you say? All right.
That doesn't help that you're in the South either. Anything that doesn't sound exactly like the accent
I just refuse. I literally refuse to say water.
It sounds so unnatural coming from you.
Does it not make you want to puke hearing me say that? Anybody listening, when I say water, does that not make you want to throw up? Because I have a disgusting taste in my mouth now, and no water is going to fix that. Because I had to say that.
That's why you drink a fizzy Diet Coke.
Fizzy?
Yeah, we're sponsored by Diet Coke now. Not regular Coke. That's too top tier.
Sponsored by Diet Coke because
Listen, I've never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke. That's if you understand what that reference is from, again, go ahead and send your hate mail to me. So
valid. I do actually want to talk about status.
Yes.
Is it status or status?
Status.
It's status.
Listen,
okay.
I'm dripped out. Got the logo here on the beanie, on the T-shirt. A bit of a status head. That's what I call myself.
That just reminded me of a Scottish Vine where there's this one brand that's really popular in Scotland.
Yeah.
And this guy is wearing a million layers of it. The guy's like, what jacket is that? And he like takes it off and he's like, it says it in, because Scottish accents are hilarious. He just says whatever it is. And he's like, what's that one? He's like, I got another one on there. Fucking, he just keeps taking them off. There's like 10 fucking jackets. It's hilarious. But yeah, so you're dripped out in status stuff. So talk about status, because I very much envy the fact that you went to Australia to go to status, and it's something that I have been dying to go to for years, and it just hasn't worked out.
So pro tip for international travel, as someone who's only done it once right before the pandemic hit, PayPal credit is your friend. It's not really, but it's really good for things like this. You go to the
I can't endorse bad financial decisions, by the way.
Listen, this isn't financial advice. I'm not Warren Buffett. Anything I say is terrible. Do not listen. But, big but. So PayPal credit and go to the airline's website, and that usually has the best price for you.
Direct from the website?
Yeah, direct from like Delta or wherever's airliner website.
Yeah.
I paid $1,500 for a ticket, and that's pretty good, especially if you look at them now. Now it's not the best time to fly internationally for obvious reasons.
$1,500 is still a lot of money to fly somewhere for like a week.
It is, but on PayPal credit, you don't have to pay for it until 6 months later, and then they hit you with all the accrued interest, and then you're like, I'm shitting my pants, but at least I don't have to pay for it. So anyways.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so status is put on by my friend Sarah.
Shout out. Is it Baru?
Do not ask me that. Listen, I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Sarah Baru. Shout out to Sarah Baru.
Listen, Sarah.
Shout out to Sarah Baru. Fucking coolest chick ever. I cannot speak. She runs the coolest show I've ever seen besides Riverside. All right, we can't disrespect it like that.
Can't disrespect it.
She just like everything to do with status, like as a brand, as a show. I love it. All of it. The branding, everything. All of it is amazing. And so just shout out to you, Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah, shout out. Love you, but I still can't pronounce your last name. I'm sorry.
Is it not Baru? That sounds Australian.
I just can't say it with 100% certainty. Because
Sierra Baru?
It sounds like you're saying Sierra, like Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist? What does she miss? She misses the old times when they were building cars differently.
So, to work through this bit, so Sarah put this on. Originally, it was her and a couple other people, and they started in 2018. And I found Sarah through Instagram, and all I saw was a bunch of cool photos. And this is back when she was known as Automotive Lens, and it was like Lense. And I was stupid because her Instagram handle was Automotive Lens, and there was a bunch of photos of like GTRs and like stuff that we obviously do not get here on her Instagram page. And in like her bio, it said AL. I'm from Alabama. I know AL as the state code for Alabama. And I was just like, yo, this person is in Alabama and does this insane work. I've got to meet them. No, AL stand for Automotive Lens, and she was in Australia, and I'm stupid. But, I just...
That fucking escalated. Yeah. Somehow you're just on a flight to Australia. You're like, I got to meet this person in Alabama. You just took a plane in a big circle back to Alabama.
But yeah, so that's how that started. And I just talking to this person over DMs and stuff, learn more about it. It's like, oh, you're in Australia. God, I'm stupid. And, we just shot the shit about photography. We edited each other's work, whatever, which is, if you're a photographer and you're friends with another photographer, highly recommend sharing raw files and editing.
Yes. Don't gatekeep photography stuff. Yeah. It's yes, gatekeep your own style because that's something that takes a long time to develop, but edit on each other's stuff. I used to do editing contests all the time.
Yeah.
And I got such a good reaction from people out of it. I just stopped doing it because it was a lot of work.
Yeah, you've got like a fucking ton of followers now, so I can't imagine trying to filter through all that.
I would literally get like 1,500 entries, and I have to go through them, and the majority, like 60% of them are people who aren't serious. They're just doing it because it's funny.
Yeah, joke. Yeah.
And it's
haha, I edited the photo bad. I'm funny, right?
And then I go through and like I pick my like top 3, and then like a bunch of people get butthurt. They're like, well, I fucking hate those. And then I'm like, you know what? Why am I even judging this? Because photography is subjective, and this is so stupid. So I'd like to do contests again, but not contests. Just just edit some pictures. Let's literally not judge them at all.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. It's really fun. I love editing other people's pictures.
Oh yeah, no, it's really tight. So that's how that relationship started, and we would talk like every day, Instagram or Snapchat, whatever. And obviously when I have someone Snapchat, I'm gonna send them fucking videos of me doing funny bits and accents and stuff. And so of course, being Australian, me playing Team Fortress 2 in 2008 and saying, oh, that Australian sniper voice is pretty fucking cool. Boom, headshot. I was just like, I'm just going to do a bunch of Australian bits for Australia or for Sarah. And then that turned into me doing some voice acting in a promo vid, which dropped on.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So it actually showed up on Facebook Memories the other day. It dropped on December 18th in 2018. And my voice is in there. There's a little segment where they filmed where Fueled by Kang, salute, brother. He filmed the little radio, and my voice was coming out of it, and I was advertising status and on this fictional radio station
in an Australian accent.
Yes.
What? I mean, first of all, why would they have an American do an Australian accent?
Beats me, but it was a lot of fun, and
that's incredible.
I think Sarah also didn't know why they did it, but it was very fun.
It was just like, awesome. Whatever.
Yeah, kick ass.
He's from America. America's cool. Put it in there.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
And then, so she did that show. Maybe it was 2019. I can't remember if it was 2018, 2019. I want to say 2019 now is when it was first around, because that makes... No, it was 2018. I don't know. Time frame here isn't really that important. All I know is, over the years, knowing her or talking to her, it was just like, oh, dude, it'd be so sick to come to Australia for this, because she put on the show Status Seasonal, and It's a lot like Riverside. Like, in all honesty, that's venue... That's
the vibe I get from it. It's a small niche show that brings out some of the highest quality cars.
And people will travel from, like there were people that like, oh, yeah, dude, the like, nonstop, if I drove nonstop, it's like 24 hours, because they're coming from, like, the northmost tip. And it's just like,
you know what's crazy is that this is a show in its very early stages.
Yeah.
To have people, like, to have that kind of demand and have people coming from that far away within the first few years of a show is fucking insane.
Yeah.
That literally tells you point blank how good that show is, and like the level of cars that are there. Is that, within 2-3 years of putting it on, there's people driving 24 hours plus.
Yeah, it's insane. It's fucking insane. And like I said, the vibe is very similar to Riverside, because it's like very similar venue, same caliber of car comes out, and it's just chill, like so good. But in 2020, it was just like, yo, if you want to come, I got a place for you and a bunch of the other like out of country, out of state photographers.
Oh no, I got that offer too, and I was like, oh, fuck, I wish. You know why I couldn't? You know why the legitimate reason I couldn't that year? I had time, I had money. I had a fucking girlfriend that would never let me go to Australia and on an offer from a female. Do not. If you're in a relationship and like your partner won't let you take good opportunities because a female is involved, get the fuck out of that relationship. Like, seriously. Because that is absolutely horrible. I turned down so many amazing opportunities because I would get chewed out. She chewed me out on a fucking regular. If Sarah would because I'd talk to Sarah, like I'd reply to her stories, she'd reply to my stories, we'd talk. Yeah. Dude, she would get she's like, who the fuck is this Sarah bitch? I'm like, She runs the coolest car show in Australia. And she's like, why are you so excited about it? I'm like, because she runs the coolest car show in Australia. Shut the fuck up.
Woman, you do not understand. I only care about two things. Automobiles and that, honestly,
cameras.
One thing.
Cars and cameras. Like, that's fucking it. God.
Dude, the world could be on fire, but if there was a fucking S15 right in front of me, I would be like, dude, S15.
Exactly.
Sick.
No, but yeah, I seriously could have gone to Status that year.
Yeah.
And the only way it like would have been possible is if she would have come with me. And like, I can't afford to have both of us fucking go.
Absolutely not.
And then I'm also not going to bring her if she's like already like got all these, just
that would have been a big,
horrible situation. I'm very glad. It's been a year plus now since I've been out of that relationship, and I'm much happier. And I am happy to, once this pandemic bullshit is over, I'm fucking everywhere.
Absolutely. Now, that's what I was excited for. I got the passport. I'm like, dude, first international flight, got the passport. Next year, going somewhere else. Cool. Like, yeah, that's it's real funny. Life said, real fucking funny, pal. I'm gonna break your fucking legs if you say that again around me. It's like, all right, okay, guess I won't go anywhere. I guess I'll be stuck inside in Atlanta for fucking 6 months or whatever.
Oh my god, I wanted to go to Japan last year. Like as soon as I got out of that relationship, I was like, I'm going to Japan.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
Fuck you.
Denied. Fuck. Like I've tried to book flights.
Yeah.
For the auto salon. Mm-hmm. Denied.
Yeah.
They won't let you. I'm like, I want to do it now, but I got too many things going on right this second, so I don't know if I'll be able to make Tokyo Auto Salon.
You're a niche micro internet celebrity, so
my fucking God.
They should just tell Japan, like, do you know who I am?
I hate you. By the way, guys,
what does you Liam L.
Before anybody gets up in fucking arms about that, this was a running joke between me and Charlie throughout SEMA week, where the term niche micro internet celebrity kept coming up, and there's a bunch of memes about it on the internet too, and it was just this thing that kept coming up. Like every time we'd walk into a fucking new hall at SEMA and I'm not wearing a mask, they'd be like, sir, can you put your mask on? And Charlie's just like, no, he's a niche micro internet celebrity. Just like, oh my fucking God. It's not serious, I promise.
Yeah, we're just having a laugh, fellas.
Having a fucking piss up in here.
Oh, mate, yeah, we're kind of having a laugh over here. So why don't you fucking chill out, all right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Australia's fucking cool. Status is cool. I can't remember when she's putting on Status for next year.
They changed it because didn't she? Well, did they lose the venue or they changed the venue or something?
They changed the venue, and I'm excited to see what the new venue is because the old venue is fucking tight, and I mean that's going to be hard to top. But I have full confidence in Sarah's ability to do literally anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited that I will come out to that show at some point. It's going to happen.
I don't know if I'm gonna go this year because from what Colton was telling me, it's still pretty expensive.
Yeah,
like $4,000 a ticket. And I'm like, damn, that's used car money.
$4,000.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Right. That's what the kids say. It's what the.
Yeah. No, that's.
I'm cool. I'm hip.
That's pretty expensive. Yeah. God damn, that just shit on my dreams.
Yeah. Don't. It might not be that's old information, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I know like it's like. Because I booked flights to the UK for 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Fuck, it was like almost 2 years ago, and it was like $1,500 a ticket, which that's kind of the going rate. Unless you want to do a bunch of bullshit and go like Icelandic Air, where you go from like somewhere in Canada and then you fly to literally like the North Pole and you're stuck there for 36. Awesome. You're stuck there for 36 years, and then you catch another flight so you can save $1,000. That's like the only way to do it for cheap. There's got to be a way to do that for Australia too, where you take like 15 connecting flights.
You fly into like Vietnam or somewhere like that.
Dude, that'd be a hell of a vlog series.
Yeah. That's what my buddy Tyler did when I was in Australia, because it was a bunch of the out-of-state people. Yeah. We all stayed in that same house. It was a whole bunch of people. I can't fucking remember everybody, but Tyler, Colton, Kyle, and Derek, those were and Mr. Josh Castle, good friend, the guy who runs Stanceworks' social media page now. So salute to my brother. Thank you for buying me some of the best seafood ever in Australia. That was top tier.
Hell yeah!
And killer photographer as well. Definitely go give him a follow, Mr. Josh Castle, Castlecar Media.
Yeah, there's a. I only got put on to Status through mutual friends.
Right.
Because I've had a lot of guys that I've like become friends with through Violent in Australia. So like Glenn, Aubrey, Sean. There's a couple other guys too.
So speaking of violent in Australia, when I was at the show in 2020, I was the announcer for the awards.
Yeah.
Because again, I can do the ha hee hee funny voice.
Yeah.
And for the announcer voice, I chose like somewhere in between like Bob Barker kind of game show host and just American. I don't know. I was on some other shit.
It doesn't matter. There's no other American that'd call you out.
Exactly. I mean, there were, but none of them had the gall because they knew we were staying
the
together.
The gabagool.
And they didn't have the fucking gabagool, okay? And these 24-inch pythons over here, we were staying in the same house. I was also the ride. So it's, you know. I drove Kyle's friend's VR36 to the show back and forth.
Yeah.
I definitely did some irresponsible shit in another country in a car that I'd never driven.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
I have some fantastic stories of me with a rental car in England that I can't talk about for legal reasons. Yes.
All I know is 7 a.m. in Melbourne public highways with no one else on the road going through the tunnels on a car that has a VR36 in it. Kick ass, dude. But so I was doing the announcing and, you know, giving out awards at this show and prizes. Mm-hmm. And the president of like Violent Australia was there, and he'd won this award. He had won a status jacket, like somewhat similar to this one I'm wearing. And I see him walk up in the Violent jacket. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge fan of Violent, mostly U.S. based Violent. It's not my hugest thing, but it's okay. So it's all friendly ribbon, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm losing my shit because I've been up here for 30 minutes trying to give out raffle ticket awards, and no one is coming up, right? God. So I'm at this point where I'm just trying to do literally anything entertaining to make things go. The show must go on. I'm a showman, and so Mr. Australia Violent president comes up and he's wearing his jacket. And I go, oh, mate, don't worry. We got something to cover that Violent click jacket right up right here. Nice status jacket for you. The crowd ate it up. I laughed my ass off.
Wait. The crowd did what?
The crowd ate it up.
They ate it up. Yeah, okay.
They really enjoyed it. And then I saw on Facebook a little bit after that the guy had commented about it, and he seemed to be good spirits about it. That's what I like about Australian people. Is
I want to say, well, they all just literally bully each other.
Yeah,
nonstop.
It's great. It's fantastic. They can take it. I feel if I tried to pull the same thing over here, it would not go. I would be canceled in the car community because I made a joke.
Yeah, people will be down your throats immediately. Everyone takes everything so seriously.
And that's cool. That's cool. I can take it. Fist fight me in the streets. I'll lose, but I'll take it.
But yes, status. I really hope I can go someday.
If you want to travel for a car show internationally, Status is a good one to go to, especially if you are an Australophile like myself. Can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, there's other shows you can go to over in the UK too. I'm sure you're familiar with like the
Work
stuff.
I have so many
personal
shows
experience.
In the UK.
Status is the best thing you're gonna get out of Australia. Unless you are also into Australian muscle cars and like burnout pits and whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was
there's
gonna
other
say,
stuff for that.
The one other show in Australia that I'm like super familiar with that I know all my friends over there go to is World Time Attack.
Yeah. And that's also like an event. That is like SEMA for here.
Right, yeah, that's like a big thing. But like Status is cool because it's run by like one of the homies. It's like somebody who's relatable within the scene. It's like if I hosted a car show, I would hope that people who know me and like what I do and support would like want to come out. So it's very much that effect.
Yeah, like, it's that vibe. It is the
Sarah's a cool down to earth person. She's an enthusiast like any of us, and like that makes me want to go to a show. And the fact that it's a really fucking good show.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't put it over enough. I mean, it's top tier work for like third-year effort. That's insane. Yeah. It's insane.
And it is worth mentioning, she actually has a UCF 20 as well, which she just pretty much finished up. It's on 18-inch work equips. It's got a aim gain Euroline kit. She did keep it white silver two-tone, but she painted the silver darker, which I still hate you for that because you need to match me. Or maybe I need to match you.
I think it's probably that way.
I don't like the darker two tone. I ain't a big fan. Well, but you know, that car is fantastic.
To pull one over on you, I saw that car when it was stock. So yeah, I'm a little bit cooler. Actually.
I remember when she
I have
got
photos of it stock.
She got the car. And this was actually one of the times that I got chewed out. She got the car, like it was bone stock, and I was like, "You have a UCF-20?" Yeah. She's like, yeah, like gonna build it or whatever. I sent everything I knew about UCF-20s immediately. Like I had the list of
my personally written Wikipedia page.
I had the list of every arm and like thing that you would need. Like I'll give you all the options for different arms that you could get. Everything. I was like, you need to shorten this to get this height. Blah blah blah. Yeah. If you're gonna do this, you need this size wheel. And I was just like, she was one of those people that I was like, yes, I want to see this car done, so I'm going to give you everything I know right now. And I got very chewed out for that. She was like, it's because she's a girl. And I was like, no, it's because she hosts the coolest car show in Australia. And she has the same car as me. Like, how can you not like...
International twinning is the goal.
Yeah. People. If you cannot remove gender from something and like just see the relatability there... Like, if she had a fucking Miata and didn't host the coolest car show in Australia or in the world, then you may have grounds to chew me out. But like, come on.
Are we taking a stance on Miatas?
No, I'm just saying if it was a completely different platform from what I have, then it's like, maybe it'd be a little sus. But
because I mean, Miatas are a car.
They are a car.
They have 4 wheels.
Yeah,
engine,
but I don't have a Miata.
He doesn't have a Miata, folks.
And so it would make no sense for me to give her the laundry list of how to build a Miata when I don't have one.
I do that.
You do?
because again, going back to the photography thing, I take photos of cars because cars are, innately interesting. And, I don't know. I like learning about, like, what's in this car, what parts it has. And
that's fair.
I take photos of cars on, like, a catalog style where it's just like, I'm trying to get these certain angles to get these certain details so that when I'm like, hopefully one day I'll have money and I can incorporate the best of the best that I've taken photos of and make something cohesively that's cool.
Absolutely. I was going to say, that's like, I feel like that's what's helped me with building a car too, is I've just spent such a long time like living vicariously through my camera that when it finally came time for me to like build a car, it was like, all right, I'm ready for this. Yeah. I'm getting my training wheels off. I've been training for this for years.
Which,
so
again, car photography is a good window into car modification because
it really is. I mean,
like you can show up with whatever, even if it's a point and shoot, and capture the same thing that I'm capturing. Just it's obviously it's not going to look as crazy or whatever because you're shooting with a point and shoot, but it's like.
If you make yourself stand out, then you can create opportunities for yourself, which gets you in there. You network with the right people. When it finally comes time, or when you have money and you can build a car, boom, you got the right connections. And you have all the right knowledge.
Yeah, it's a great way to make friends is to just talk to people at a show about their stuff. And I get like
cameras are the perfect stepping stone to get into this world without having to have a car.
Yeah,
like 100%.
Advice on this is. If you want to get into cars and you don't have any money, save. Don't buy the first piece of shit you can. Don't be me.
Yeah.
Don't buy my shitty CRX that I'm not going to sell it to you, so don't fucking ask. Okay? I had that happen 3 times today. It's fucking annoying. Anyways, don't buy the first piece of shit you can buy. Save money until you can get something that is the best of what you want. It doesn't have to be fucking perfect, but like anything's better than what I tried to start with.
Well,
and you can.
I was gonna say I don't feel like you have to get the best.
Yeah.
But like you got to do everything in stepping stones. Like save up until you can buy the car or the platform that you want. Yeah. And then save up to get the parts and like pull the parts, and then when eventually you have enough stuff, then build it. But don't just go out and buy stuff because you have that pressure.
I see that because I said that because I saw an EM1 on the highway yesterday. That was the shittiest EM1 of all time with brand new paper tags on it, and it's just like that guy really went out and bought something you see on Craigslist for $400, and I know that guy's gonna be like, dude, it's gonna be fucking sick. It's gonna be the sickest Civic, and it's just like EM1s are cool. They're not that cool. They're not. It's not reason enough to buy the shittiest one you see. Save your money. Spend a little wiser. Buy the best one you can for your budget.
Yes, but I mean, it's always good to start from a good starting point, like something that's clean. Obviously,
if you're looking to buy, I always default to Ferrari as like when I'm talking about cars. Like, hey, if you're looking to buy a Ferrari, don't buy the one that's $2,000. Maybe buy the one that's $20,000 as your starting point, if that's the most you can afford.
You know of a Ferrari for $20,000?
You can, there's ones you can find out there. They're not ones you want, though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, okay. So your statement is wrong. Don't buy the Ferrari that's 20 grand. Buy the one that's at least 80 to 100.
yeah, exactly. But if you can afford, like, if all you can afford is like $5,000 for a car or something like that, I don't know what prices are on shit. I haven't checked in a while because I have 3 cars. I don't need a fucking another one.
Yeah.
But really try and find what you can that's going to be the best for your budget, because if you start at a terrible point, it's just gonna be a financial fucking eyesore.
And please, if $5,000 is your budget for buying a car and you like LS400s, please don't buy one and then be surprised when it costs 50 grand to build it the way that you want to. They entice you in with how cheap that platform is, but it is very, very expensive to do it right.
Absolutely.
And there are far, far cheaper cars that you can get into and build, which if you want to get into VIP cars, I'm going to tell you right now, go buy a Y33 Q45 because you can run all S14 suspension stuff on it, arms, subframes, everything. And all of that is readily available from a million different websites.
Yeah, I think I spent $1,600 on all of my suspension components for my S14. And it's just like, hey, that's done.
You said how much?
$1,600. Listen, audio listeners. The
two of my arms cost that.
Expression of shock is it doesn't translate on audio, but I mean, it's like I told this guy a plane hit the Pentagon or something.
I literally could have had like probably two really sick, maybe one shittier one, but like 2 sick S chassis built for how much it's costing me to build an LS400.
But then you own an S chassis.
Yes. Yeah.
As an S owner
chassis.
Of one, what a terrible group of people.
And I know.
I love you, though.
The nice thing with the LS400, too, is that, like, if you ever want a part out, you'll sell those parts immediately.
Yeah.
I watched somebody, a friend down in Florida, who has an LS400 that has, like, tons of stuff in it.
Right.
Like, he never finished it, but it had a lot of parts in it. Mm-hmm. He posted the list, like, yesterday with prices. They're all very expensive. Everything is sold now. Everything. Yeah, and there was at least 30 pieces. And these are all like rare, really expensive. Like every single piece on there is like basically $1,000. It's like just gone immediately. Yeah. Because there's demand for it.
He's gonna go buy the blue chunky monkey NFT with that.
The chunky monkey NFT.
Yeah, dude.
All right. I think we're at a good point here on the nice fucking titties. Chunky monkeys.
Very nice indeed.
You know what sucks is that like before we sat down to do this, we went out to a like bar down the street to get food.
We carb-loaded,
and the chair there was like the same feeling as this, and so I've now had like back-to-back couple hours of just hard wood.
It's a hard life, dude.
My ass hurts. This is not like. Please, guys, share this with your friends. Give it a like. Give it 5 stars on Spotify because I know that you can do that now. So, give us 5 stars so it pops up for more people. Share it around because we need corporate sponsors like Diet Coke and Toyo Tires.
And Blue Chew, don't forget that
one. And Blue Chew so that I can get
a nice comfy gamer chair to sit in.
I was going to say, we need to get sponsored by Blue Chew so that I can get a hard cock and a soft chair. Because fuck me, this chair hurts. I do actually have some exciting things coming. This setup here is very temporary. I am hopefully going to have an actual studio that is at a different residence than here very soon.
Can I pull the camera back? Reveal the studio a little bit?
You want to? You can.
I'm not actually pull the camera back. I'm just the curtain. The curtain is opening. We're in a garage. It's cold. Like I'm triple layered up because I need to be. There's a space heater and
there's a space heater. It's doing something. Our legs are cold because it's not giving any heat down there, and heat rises. There is a couch behind the camera.
The casting couch.
Yes.
It's grueling to be on this podcast.
My wheels are over there. There's a stack of LS400 stocks. There is a sim rig right here. There's a water heater. There's all of my inventory there. There's miscellaneous excursion parts. There's a bicycle, a skateboard, a snap-on toolbox. There's a lot of just shit everywhere.
But I will say, on the video podcast, it looks just like the real deal. It looks professional.
I thought you were gonna say it looks shit.
No. That's the great thing about the curtain is no one sees behind it except for you and people looking at it. It's like, damn, that's really nice. It's like, yes, it is.
Yeah, we did this.
Believe it.
We did this cool little soundproofing thing, which does nothing, but it looks a little bit more official. And then obviously you can see the outlets over there with 2 extension cords coming out of it. I can't move the outlet.
Yeah, I think Joe Rogan has these same things. You know, what's happening, freak bitches, something like that.
Yeah, he definitely has the outlet with the fucking bright orange extension cable coming out of it right there. So yeah, humble beginnings, guys. Yeah. Even though this is nowhere near a beginning for me, I've been in way worse and shittier place. I live in a nice house now. I'm very thankful for
it. It is nice. Can't confirm.
Yeah, I do have a studio, hopefully soon. So this is gonna look a lot more professional, and I really, really need to get another mic set up so that we can have myself and Matt and a guest. Which honestly, yes. I don't even mind just this. Like this is really good.
Yeah, but it's a typical podcast setup. It's 2 dudes, 2 white guys, and then microphone.
Hey, just guys being dudes.
Just what can I say? Guys being dudes. You know, 2 fine Italian Americans.
Yeah, you can get a sausage and mushroom pizza.
This thing of ours, it's really good. And don't look into it. We're actually waste management. Okay.
What?
Waste management.
That's what this company is?
Yes, what this company is. Yeah. This thing of ours.
Waste management.
La Cosa Nostra.
I'll be honest, I don't know what you're talking about.
Watch The Sopranos.
Oh, my bad. Sopranos is a type of pizza, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. All right. Totally.
On that note.
I'm going to do some plugs real quick.
Yeah, please, right. By all means.
So first and foremost, plugging myself because me, baby. That's what we're about. So, again, in case you didn't catch it earlier when I dropped it, my Instagram handle is Centru. That's CENTRU.
I was actually going to do that plug for you.
Oh, so. You want to do it for me?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, well, you've already done it now. So.
Right, but do you have the voice? You have the fucking silky smooth radio voice that comes over. No.
I'm very soft-spoken and half English, half American.
Yeah, he's very soft-spoken, humble guy, but not me, pal. I'm.
You're not that guy, pal.
I'm not that fucking guy. So, anyways, back to my fucking plug before this guy interrupted me. Anyways, yeah, Instagram again, CENTRU. Check out my website, I gotta break accent because S in Italian that doesn't translate well. Anyways. s-style.vip. Yeah, I did a little V-option VIP kind of riff there with my website. But
that's pretty lit, actually.
The full name is Southern Style because I'm from the South, and I started that website because I wanted to represent the South online a little better than the nothing it was getting.
And now you don't even post anything from the South because you don't live there anymore.
I live in Vegas.
You travel to Australia.
Hey, listen, that's the Southwest, kind of, so.
No, but you... Charlie does take some really, really badass pictures.
Thank you.
I think I remember seeing your coverage from Riverside, and I was like, damn it. Why didn't I do that? Because you shot everything under the pavilion. I could tell that you were picky about like the lighting with some of your shots.
Yeah. Be picky. Be very picky.
You exposed everything for the outside.
Yes.
Even though it's very shady under there. And so you were just picking the areas where you could shoot where there were like beams of light coming through. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? That's fucking cool. And it looked fantastic.
It pays looked really to take your time with a shot. I see it all too often at shows. Guys will fucking take the most crowded shot and move on. Wait 5 minutes. Give it 5 minutes on your knees. I know you can do it. I know what you do in your free time.
I miss those days. Yeah. I've never... Literally, in my years of going to Riverside, I've never had the opportunity to just take pictures of that show. And it really bums me out because it would be my favorite show to shoot at. And now I'm at the point where I can't even, like, walk around a show to, like, take pictures. Like, I can't leave my booth. I can't do shit. And all I want to do is shoot. And so I kind of live vicariously through you or, like, anybody else that shoots at these places and takes sick pictures. I'm like... man, at least someone's doing it. At least someone's doing it.
And soon TM, there will be new posts on the website. I did some stuff with Speed Hunters and a lot of other publications in the past. So a bit of I again won't use the term writer, but I'm a bit of a writer. And further plugs, my friend, obviously my guy, LEP Automotive. If you're listening to this podcast, probably already follow him. But if you don't, follow him.
Actually, you'd be surprised. There's this podcast has brought in a lot of just from other people sharing it. There's a lot of people on here that don't know me at all, and I love that.
Yeah,
I really enjoy that. This is just taking its own path and building its own audience because everybody that's here and listening wants to be here and likes what we're talking about, and that's all I wanted for it.
That's dope. That's dope.
So, happy to have you guys here. Thank you.
Yeah,
seriously.
And further, Status Seasonal, we talked about that. Sarah Baharu, all those are on Instagram. And Benny Wiles, the boy upstairs, the beautiful boy Benny Wiles, got to follow him. Got to love him. Really good automotive photographer as well. 6-Speed Soul to Buddy Colton, and Tyler Holbrook, which is Dutch Touch on Instagram. He has 2 accounts, both Dutch_Touch. One has 2 behind it, I think. Follow those folks. Those are really good folks. Met them all in Australia, and they're badass. I met Americans in Australia. Go figure.
And shout out to Matt. He is not on this episode because I only have 2 microphones. So when I get another one, then obviously Matt will be on.
Matt's the homie. Ones. He's a really good artist.
He is. Matt's really good at graphic design. Yeah. I'm trying to get him to do more stuff. So if you guys own a business and you're looking at getting into more stuff, Matt. You want some stickers, hit up Matt. Matt will do you, like, he's making me some slaps right now. Actually, funnily enough, some of you guys liked in one of the first few podcasts, he kept saying perpetually broke. A few people said that should be a sticker. I even said it. Well, making it into a sticker now, so badass. That'll be available very, very soon.
Perpetually broke sticker available at lepautomotive.com soon.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
To a world near you.
In a world of stance cars and VIP builds, there's one man who unites them all. His name, Liam Els. His website, lepautomotive.com. Check it the fuck out.
It's Isles.
No, I was right. I'm the announcer guy. I don't fuck up. That's not my job.
You say eels.
Nope, that definitely did not. I said it correctly.
On that note, guys, thank you so much for listening or watching. I really appreciate you guys, and we'll be back next week. Every Monday is the schedule, so tune in, and hopefully this makes your day a little bit better. I know working a shitty dead-end job sucks, and I know those long commutes suck, so hopefully this makes it better. And if your life doesn't suck, I still hope that you're here, because, I mean, I want everybody to do well, but, like, don't leave us behind when your life gets better. Seriously.
Konnichiwa, fellas.
Yes. Which sound effect do I want to play? Because I haven't. You know what? We're gonna do this old OG one.
My lord, these fries are unequivocally fucking busted.
It's fantastic. Fuck.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.